You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas you've just crossed over into. The game room. Urban legends are a really important part of popular culture. They help to stimulate our imagination and make us question just how far our beliefs will take us. Gaming has its own set of legends, one of which has haunted interested parties for years. It's an arcade game that features disappearing cabinets, subliminal messaging, and men in black suits. It's all part of the legend of Polybius. The machine supposedly appeared out of the blue in a small selection of American arcades in the early 80s. Most people report having seen it in Portland, Oregon, but other people say that Polybius also appeared in Oklahoma and California. As with all the best urban legends, there's virtually no concrete information about the game, so we can't be sure exactly what sort of game it was. Most sources describe it as being Tempest-like, with the player flying into a pseudo 3D maze and dodging obstacles. Players were supposed to try and escape the maze without crashing or being caught in a trap. The only evidence of the game's existence is a screenshot of the title screen and a photo of the cabinet itself. The cabinet is appropriately nondescript, with very little flash in comparison to the other elaborate and colourful cabinets of the era. The body was either dark green or black, depending on who you ask, with bright green sticks. The title screen is similarly bare bones, with the Polybius logo in blobby blue text and the company and date down the bottom. Interestingly, the German company name is Sinneslöschen, which roughly translates to sensory extinguishing in English. A sign of things to come, for sure. The meat of the legend lies in the effects of the game on the player. The game itself was supposed to be dangerously addictive to play, but this was just a start. Some of the symptoms included blackouts, nightmares, amnesia, and epilepsy. Even more frightening, the game supposedly altered the mood of the player, with people being unable to feel sad for a period of time after playing the game. This was all supposedly caused by the effects used through the game, subtly suggesting and implanting ideas in the mind of the player as they progressed. When it comes to how exactly they were supposed to have achieved this, your guess is as good as mine. Flashing coloured lights? Recorded voices? Who knows? The other interesting part of the Polybius story was the origin of the game. Many people swear up and down that they witnessed men in black suits appearing to maintain the game. However, when they opened up the game, they never took the earnings, as you'd expect them to do. Instead, they'd take large amounts of data recordings from the cabinet, implying that someone, somewhere, was collecting information about the minds of the players. Creepy. As with all postmodern myths, the Men in Black suits brings most people to the conclusion that Polybius was a government project, commissioned to spy on and analyse the local population. According to Polybius theory, the timing of the game's release actually lines up with the US Army's relationship with Atari, who were commissioned to create a tweaked version of Battlezone for the Army's use. Atari were the gaming kings of the era, so whilst this link isn't exactly hard evidence, it can still send a shiver down your spine. Polybius is said to be in the hands of collectors who retain possession of the ROM and refuse to release it to the public. There is a freeware recreation of Polybius online that is free for people to play around with and appears significantly less dangerous than its parent was supposed to be. The Polybius myth itself has spread through pop culture, even appearing in the background of a Simpsons episode. Note the US government logo on the cabinet. The writers obviously do their homework. I don't want this myth to be laid to rest. I think we need stories like these to call our own. Creepy, linked to a variety of industry figures. Crazy enough to laugh at, but just almost detailed enough to believe. If you weren't too creeped out by this episode, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter. Thank you, and see you for the next episode.